Mask up, hands behind your back.
Yeah, just face this way from me, okay? We're gonna get started here.
Everybody else, please, don't turn around.
Yeah, we're gonna take care of it.
Mask on your nose.
Give me somebody right here. Well, everybody be able to hear. Judge, we're ready when you are.
Okay, thank you.
Can everybody hear?
Yes.
This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Esta es su comparecencia inicial ante el Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner and I'm a judge in this court.
Mi nombre es Brad Garner y yo soy un juez de esta corte.
I am not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case.
Yo no estoy acá para tener un juicio en su caso o para aceptar una declaración a cargos.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you.
Yo estoy acá para informarle de cuáles son los cargos que han sido imputados en su contra.
To advise you of certain rights,
Para decirle cuáles son sus derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I am authorized to set bail,
para fijarle fianza en esos delitos que se me permite fijarle fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
para programarles una audiencia preliminar,
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y para determinar si usted va a necesitar la asistencia de un abogado.
You have the right to remain silent and say nothing.
Usted tiene el derecho de permanecer en silencio y no decir nada,
But should you give up this right,
pero si usted renuncia a este derecho,
anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial.
cualquier cosa que usted diga durante este proceso podría ser usado en su contra si su caso va a juicio.
So please don't discuss the facts of your case.
O sea que por favor no discuta los hechos de su caso.
During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights.
Durante este y todo el resto del proceso, usted tiene los siguientes derechos.
The right to the presumption of innocence,
El derecho a la presunción de inocencia,
the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies,
el derecho para que se le formule una acusación formal por el gran jurado para la mayoría de los delitos graves,
or by accusation for misdemeanors,
o de que se le haga una acusación para un delito menor.
the right to a speedy and public trial by jury,
El derecho de tener un juicio público rápido y por jurado,
the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you,
el derecho de ver, escuchar y contrainterrogar a los testigos que están citados para testificar en su contra,
the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf,
el derecho de poder obligar a los testigos a que vengan a testificar a su favor,
the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense,
el derecho de testificar a su favor y de presentar pruebas para ser usados en su defensa,
the right to have an attorney represent you.
el derecho de tener un abogado para que los represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify.
Y si usted no puede contratar un abogado, le podrían nombrar uno si usted cualifica.
Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail.
Alguno de ustedes se le va a permitir que usted pague una fianza sin restricciones para poder salir de la cárcel,
Which may be cash, commercial, or property.
la cual puede pagar en efectivo, comercial o usando una propiedad.
If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office.
Si usted quiere pagar su fianza en efectivo, alguien tiene que llevar la cantidad total de su fianza más las tarifas adicionales a la comisaría.
The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case.
La comisaría se quedaría con el dinero y se lo reembolsarían al final de su caso.
If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service.
Si usted usa una compañía fiancista, alguien tendría que pagar las tarifas a esta compañía por sus servicios.
The fee will not be returned.
Y esta tarifa no le sería reembolsada.
I don't know what fee will be charged, but it's usually based on a percentage of the bond.
Yo no sé cuál sería la tarifa que le van a cobrar, pero generalmente es basado en un porcentaje de la fianza.
Finally, if you use property to post a bond,
Y finalmente, si usted usa una propiedad para pagar su fianza,
the property will need to have a net equity in an amount equal to 3 times the total amount of the bond.
la propiedad tendría que tener en equidad neta o plusvalía 3 veces la cantidad total de su fianza.
Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places.
Algunos de ustedes van a tener condiciones especiales en su fianza, donde se le prohíbe ponerse en contacto con ciertas personas o de que vayan a ciertos lugares.
This special condition will be provided to you on a separate form.
Y esta condición especial se le va a entregar a usted en un documento por separado.
You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail.
A usted también se le va a prohibir que usted se ponga en contacto con la víctima mientras usted está encarcelado.
If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you could remain in jail until your trial.
Y si usted quebranta la orden o no sigue la orden de la corte, usted podría mantenerse en la cárcel, o podrían mantenerlo en la cárcel hasta que su caso vaya a juicio.
You could also receive additional felony charges.
Y también usted podría recibir cargos adicionales por delitos graves.
It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond.
Es importante que sepa que si una persona está nombrada en su caso como la víctima, a esa persona no se le va a permitir pagar su fianza.
Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail.
Algunos de ustedes se le acusa de algunos delitos que por ley a este juez no se le permite concederle fianza.
In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date.
En este caso, se va a programar una audiencia para pedir fianza con un juez del Tribunal Superior y a usted se le va a informar qué día va a ser.
If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time.
Si actualmente usted está bajo libertad condicional, a este juez no se le permite concederle fianza en estos momentos.
Whether bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest.
Si la fianza es apropiada en estos momentos, va a ser importante que su agente de probatoria tome en consideración este nuevo arresto.
The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you.
El propósito de la audiencia preliminar es determinar si hay suficientes pruebas para que apoyen las alegaciones en su contra.
The standard at this stage is very low.
Los estándares en estos momentos son muy bajos.
A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred.
Para que un juez determine si se va a proceder con los cargos, el juez solamente tiene que determinar si existe la posibilidad de que el delito fue cometido.
Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing.
Todos están aptos para poder renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing.
Sin embargo, usted debe de hablar con un abogado primero antes de que usted determine si es apropiado o no renunciar a tener su audiencia preliminar.
If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived.
Si usted sale bajo fianza, su audiencia preliminar se cancela automáticamente.
You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date.
Y usted va a recibir una notificación en la audiencia, perdón, en la dirección que usted suministre de cuándo va a ser su próxima audiencia.
I'm going to ask everyone to raise their right hand for me so I can swear you in.
Yo le voy a pedir a todos que levanten su mano derecha para ser juramentados.
Do you swear or affirm any testimony that you give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
¿Jura usted y afirma que cualquier testimonio que usted dé en este asunto va a ser la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad, lo jura ante Dios?
Okay, Deputy Brown, how do you want to proceed?
Want the females first, Your Honor?
Okay, okay, that's fine. We only have, it looks like 5 or 6. So,
Speaking, Judge.
I'm sorry.
You can do the Spanish speaking.
Okay.
Sure.
What were their names, I'm sorry.
Bautista, Omar Bautista,
That's you?
BAU is the first one. And then Ramirez.
Okay.
If you don't get your phone right now, and keep doing that again, I'm gonna send you that your fail. Ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Bautista, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Bautista, ¿puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
Say it again, Ceci.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Bautista, you've been charged with 1 count of driving while unlicensed.
Señor Bautista, a usted se le ha acusado de un cargo de manejar sin licencia de conducir. Yes.
The bond for that is set by schedule at $1,000.
La fianza por este cargo está fija por ley a $1,000.
Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
¿Cree usted que va a poder pagar su fianza, señor?
Me dieron una fianza de 1,300 y mi hermano la pagó ayer, dijo.
They gave me a bond of $1,300 and my brother paid it today, yesterday.
Okay. The extra amount is probably fees that are added on. So I'm going to say yes, that you can post that. Do you plan on hiring your own attorney, representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of an attorney?
La cantidad extra probablemente son tarifas adicionales. ¿Va usted a contratar su propio abogado? ¿Se va a representar a sí mismo? ¿O usted quiere que yo vea a ver si usted califica para nombrarle un abogado?
Si me ayudaran con un abogado ustedes.
No le escuché.
Si me ayudaran con un abogado ustedes.
If you could help me with an attorney.
Okay. It looks on here that you work construction, is that true?
Tal parece que dice acá que usted trabaja en construcción, ¿es cierto?
Approximately how much money do you make per month?
Aproximadamente, ¿cuánto gana usted por mes?
Por mes, $2,000.
Per month, $2,000.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, and I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you.
Yo voy a encontrar que usted califica y le voy a nombrar un abogado para que lo represente.
Okay.
I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 a.m. But since you posted bond, when you bond out of the jail, that date is going to be waived and you'll get a new date in the mail.
También le voy a fijar su audiencia preliminar para el día 16 de febrero. a las 8:30 de la mañana, pero como usted pagó su fianza, esa audiencia se cancela y luego a usted le va a llegar un citatorio por correo de cuándo va a ser su próxima corte.
Ok.
Okay, you're free to go back, Mr. Bautista.
Ok, puede retirarse, señor Bautista.
Disculpe, tengo una pregunta.
Sure,
Excuse me, I have a question.
sure.
Seguro.
What's your question?
¿Cuál es su pregunta?
¿Ya con la multa que pagué ya no voy a pagar más o todavía voy a pagar los $1,000 que dice?
With the bond that I already pay, I don't have to pay any more, or do I still have to pay the $1,000 that you said?
No, you don't have to pay any more.
No, no tienes que pagar más.
Ok, entonces espero el papel que me llegue al correo para la siguiente corte.
And okay, so I just need to wait for the paper to get in my mail with my next court day.
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
A su orden.
Mr. Ramirez, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Ramírez, ¿puede usted escuchar y entender a la intérprete?
No
¿Perdón?
sé mucho inglés.
I don't know that much English.
Can you understand the interpreter?
¿Puede usted entender a la intérprete?
Sí, un poquito nomás, pero no sé.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Ramirez, you've been charged with one count of driving while unlicensed.
Señor Ramírez, a usted se le ha acusado de un cargo de manejar sin licencia de conducir.
The bond is automatically set for that offense at $1,000.
Y la fianza está fija automáticamente por ese delito a $1,000.
Sí,
Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
¿Cree usted que usted puede pagar esa fianza, señor?
ya la pagaron porque me dijo el muchacho que estaba ahí conmigo, el muchacho que estaba junto a mí, me dijo que ya la pagaron. Entonces no me han dado.
They already paid. The guy that was already there with me, he said that they paid.
Okay. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for you, Mr. Ramirez, for February 16th at 8:30 a.m. But since you've already posted your bond, when you bond out of jail, that date is going to get waived.
Señor Ramírez, yo le voy a fijar su audiencia preliminar para el día 16 de febrero a las 8:30 de la mañana, pero como ya usted pagó su fianza, cuando usted salga bajo fianza, esa audiencia se cancela.
And you will get a new date in the mail.
Y usted va a recibir un nuevo citatorio por correo.
Okay.
Do you plan on hiring your own attorney representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of an attorney?
¿Usted piensa contratarse un abogado, se va a representar a sí mismo, o quiere usted que yo vea si usted califica para que le nombre un abogado?
¿Me puedo quitar la máscara?
Can I remove my mask?
No, sir.
No, señor.
La verdad yo gano muy poquito, donde yo trabajo gano como 400 pesos, $500, no sé cuánto me cobraría el abogado. No sé si voy a
The thing is that I make very little money. Where I work, I make about $400, and I don't know how much the attorney is going to charge me.
Okay. Is that $400 a week or $400 a month?
Son $400 por semana, $400 por mes.
para pagar al abogado.
No, son, lo que usted gana, ¿son $400 por semana o $400 por mes?
Por semana.
Per week.
Okay. All right, I'm fine that you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you in this case.
Yo encuentro que usted califica para que le nombren un abogado y yo le voy a nombrar a un abogado para que lo represente en este caso.
Muchas gracias.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. If you don't have any other questions, you're free to go back.
Si usted no tiene ninguna otra pregunta, puede retirarse.
Está bien, gracias. Me puedo retirar.
Okay, thank you.
I'm just going to check and make sure we're done. Are we done with all of the Spanish speakers, Mr. Deputy Brown?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Bermudez, you're free to go.
Thank you, sir. Have a good weekend. Have
You
a
too.
good weekend, everyone.
Okay, we're ready for the females?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Come on, ma'am. Stand right there. Give him your name, okay, loud and proud.
Alicia Jackson.
One second, Ms. Jackson. Talicia Johnson.
Correct.
All right, ma'am, you've been charged with 2 offenses, simple battery and criminal trespass. I'm setting the bond for both of those offenses at $2,500, which brings you a total bond of $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
I can try. I can try.
Okay. I've also set you a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 a.m. But if you bond out, that date is gonna automatically be waived. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I gotta find your form. Hold on.
Yeah, but then,
Okay, it looks like you qualify, ma'am. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any other questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Janica Breeden. Oh,
Yes, sir. You can talk to that.
Okay. Ms. Breeden, you've been charged with 2 traffic offenses. One is improper passing, and the bond is set automatically at $500 for that. And you're also charged with not having a license, and the bond is automatically set for that offense at $1,000, so a total bond of $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
it's already posted.
Okay.
Actually, it was $1,950.
There are fees that are added on bonds that we don't have. The sheriff's office has to automatically add those fees. So that's why there's a different amount than what I told you. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. Actually, I'm gonna try to just get it all paid off and get my license back. So I don't even have to. I don't know how that works. But if I do have to come back to court, I would like a defender, plug defender.
Okay, let me take a look. All right, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date, but that date for February 16th at 8:30 a.m., but that date is gonna automatically be waived when you post bond. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
Do you not see that it's been posted already?
No, ma'am. I just get paperwork like this. If it's been posted, the sheriff's office, if they've told you it's been posted, it's been posted. Okay?
That's all I wanted to know.
Okay, you're free to go back. What's your name, ma'am? Okay, Ms. Page, you've been charged with 3 offenses, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, or deprivation. The bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. You've also been charged with possession of methamphetamine. And I'm going to set a bond at $5,000 for that charge. And you've also been charged with use or possession of drug-related objects. I'm setting the bond at $1,500 for that, for a total bond of $8,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
This is my first time, so I don't know.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, it looks like you do qualify for the appointment of an attorney. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Thank you. And
You also are going to have a preliminary hearing date set for February 24th at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be another Zoom hearing like this type of deal. I cut you off. Do you have any questions for me?
I still have a bond.
I'm sorry?
I still have a bond.
Yes, ma'am, you do. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, you're free to go back. What's your name, ma'am?
Errol Hawkins.
Okay. Ms. Hawkins, you've been charged with one count of criminal trespass. The bond is going to be set at $2,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
No, okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 a.m. And it's going to say courtroom 201, but it's going to be another Zoom type hearing. If you were to post bond, that date is going to be waived. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes. So what about the bench warrant for the bond for the bench warrant? I didn't see that at all.
You said you have a bench warrant?
Yeah, I had a bench warrant. But the bond was set for 2 something. But I don't know what's going on with that.
Was that out of Clayton County?
No, sir.
Okay, you would have to contact the court where that warrant came from.
It was from here, Sheriff, Blaine County Sheriff.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I know they said I had one charge, but I was asking. I was trying to see what's going on.
Well, I don't have access to that, ma'am. But I do know that the sheriff's office will check to see if you have any warrants, outstanding warrants, before they'll release you. So if they've told you that you have a warrant, it's showing as an active warrant in their system.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? No. Okay, you're free to go back.
Ma'am. Your name, okay? Your name.
Kimberly Johnson.
You said Kimberly Johnson?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Johnson, you've been charged with 4 offenses. One is driving too fast for conditions. The bond is going to be set at $500 for that. You're also charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. You're charged with improper lane change. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that. And you're also charged with making false statements, and I set a bond at $1,000. That gives you a total bond of $7,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
7,000.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. I'm gonna set you a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 a.m. And it's gonna say courtroom 201, but it's gonna be another Zoom type hearing. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I gotta find your form. How much money do you make per month, Ms. Johnson?
Like 2,000.
Okay, I'm gonna find that you qualify. I'm gonna appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions of me, ma'am?
So it's not a percentage that you can pay down the bond, or it just have to be 7,000, the full price?
No, ma'am. You can go through a bonding company. The sheriff's office has a list of companies that have been approved to write bonds here in Clayton County, and they will tell you what fee that they will charge. I know some bonding companies, they allow you to make payments. They'll post the bond and you make payments to them. So you would have to call around and see what they will charge and what arrangements you can make.
Okay.
Okay? Any other questions?
You did. That's it. That's all.
Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am.
All right, she's right here.
Hey, Judge, on the mails, you can call them any way you want to call them. We'll have it ready for you, sir.
Okay, let me ask you a question. I have a Dominique Grimes. Is she OTB?
Dominique Grimes, let's see.
She had driving related offenses and it was a set bond, a schedule already set. But I do have a form filled out by her, a CAA form. She's charged with no insurance, no expired tag, and driving with the license expired.
And that's a female?
Hold on. Yep.
We only had, what, 5 females, Judge?
All right, is there another one somewhere?
I have her, she's on your form. I know you can't see it. She's on here.
We see it, Judge. Where's she at? No, he checked her off, so. No. Yeah, we have to locate it because we did check her off. And, we don't
Okay.
see-
All right, well, I'll just do the, if they're not in alphabetical order, I'll just do the males as they just come up. I'll just ask their names.
But Judge, if you just want to call their names, that'd be great. That way you don't have to look for the form. You can just call their names and we'll.
Okay, great. Rashad Arnold.
Richard Arnold.
That way you don't have to look for them, Judge.
Okay.
Richard Arnold, come on, sir.
Listen up. I'm just looking up.
Mr. Arnold, you've been charged with one offense of driving on a suspended license. The bond is set automatically for that at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I paid it already, sir.
Okay. So I had set you a preliminary hearing date for February 16th, but that date is gonna get waived since you've already posted your bond. Are you gonna hire your own lawyer, represent yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I qualify for one, sir.
I'm sorry.
See if I qualify for one, sir. For a partner lawyer.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Arnold, so I'm gonna appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Sir.
Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
No, sir, that's it, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, sir, I'm good.
Hey, Judge, Grimes is a male.
Huh,
We do have him.
okay. He's listed on the warrant as a black female.
Yeah, we do have him here if you want to call him up now. Yes, sir.
No. I'll put him back over here. I'm gonna change it on the warrant to male.
Okay.
Which is weird.
What you
You
want?
would think the arresting officer would know the difference. Let's see. Next person is Mr. Calloway.
Come on, Callaway. Come on, sir. You got it.
All day.
Going there, sir?
Mr. Calloway, you've been charged with 6 different offenses. For the brake lights offense, that bond is automatically set at $500. You've been charged with 3 drug offenses, both all felonies, cocaine and marijuana, and possession with intent with marijuana. I've set the bond for each of those at $5,000 each. You can have 1 count of trafficking cocaine. I've set the bond at $10,000 on that. And 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I've set the bond at $5,000 on that. So that brings a total bond of $30,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? You said yes?
I hope so.
Okay. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for you for February 24th at 8:30 a.m. It's gonna say courtroom 201, but we're doing Zoom hearings over the computer, so it'll be another hearing over a computer. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Oh, yes.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Calloway, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
I got it.
Mr. Chapman?
Hey, Chapman, Judge.
Yes, sir.
Chapman?
Chapman, Chapman.
Come on, man.
Come on, Chapman. Hey, Judge, who do you have next? That way I can get him up.
Okay, Willie Cherry.
Willie Cherry next.
Mr. Chapman, sir, you've been charged with 5 offenses. Failure to yield at a stop sign, this bond is automatically set at $500 for that. Failure to yield for an emergency vehicle, the bond is automatically set at $500 for that. Obstructing an officer, I've set a bond at $1,500 for that. And you've been charged with 2 battery offenses, and I've set the bond at $2,000 a piece on those. So you have a total bond of $6,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? Okay. I've set you a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 a.m. If you bond out on this, that date is going to automatically be waived. Do you plan on hiring your own attorney, representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead, sir. So we're on first appearance, we're done with the fee.
Do you earn $500 a month?
No, sir. No, sir.
How much do you earn a month? Roughly.
Roughly about 25.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Chapman. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
I'll post the bond today. Will I be able to get out today?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you free to go?
Come on, sir. Step up there.
It's a program, sir.
Shit, if I get out of America.
After Mr. Cherry, we're going to have Mr. Dungy. Mr. Cherry, sir, you've been charged with one driving on a suspended license charge. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. And you've been charged with use or possession of drug-related objects, and I set a bond at $1,500 for that. So you have a total bond of $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Well, possibly not. I haven't worked since last January, and also my license is suspended because of a child support case that was closed last year when I tried to get my stimulus. So I've been married since 2016.
Okay.
So once I tried to find my stimulus, they told me that the child support took it, but my wife ain't never did it. And we stayed together. We were married 4 years. So they gave it back and closed the case, but my license was suspended for child support. So they keep on arresting me for driving on suspended license. If you look for yourself, my license is suspended for child support. And if you do your investigation, I never been on child support, never was supposed to be. So America just like it. So I don't think I can, but I try to.
Where is your license? Well,
DES,
Was it through like the like a district attorney's office?
so what happened was, you know how they suspend gentleman's license for not paying child support?
Right.
Remember the story what I just told.
Yes.
Yeah, I never been on child support, but my license suspended for child support, sir. So DDS want me to come pay back for my license, something that was never supposed to be suspended in the first place. So that's why I'm in jail talking to you. It's crazy. And I know I tried to tell the officer, he didn't care. He brought me right on in here.
Well, and that's one of the things that at the time that when they see that, like, for example, I have to look at everybody's criminal history and I can't make a decision as to whether it's wrong or not. I have to go by what's on the paper, but there's a way that you can get that fixed. Okay.
Hey, sir.
Yes.
But it was never supposed to be suspended in the first place. And also I got pulled over in Fayetteville 2 weeks ago. They gave me the benefit of the doubt because I had insurance and registration. Somebody else was in the car. They let me went home. So what you just said and what Fayetteville did were two different things. The police brought me to jail. They checked and they did an investigation. It took them about 45 minutes, but they ain't put me in the car in 5 minutes. They waited 45 minutes and they did the right thing, sir. I promise you. Look, you can check into it.
Well, all I'm saying to you, Mr. Cherry, is that if you don't get this cleared up, you're going to be always at the whim of whether somebody is going to take the time to figure it out or whether they're just going to take you to jail. So I would hope that you don't want to be in that position where you got to trust that somebody's just not going to take you to jail.
No, sir.
Okay. It looks like you said you're going to hire your own lawyer. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I mean, you can do it if you want. I just always put it on there to try to find me one when I'm coming for it. I be kind of undecided. But I do have a personal lawyer, but I don't know if I want to use it.
So do you want me to see if you qualify for a lawyer?
Yes,
Is that what you're saying?
If you're done, it's okay.
Okay.
Done,
okay. Well, you're free to go back, Mr. Cherry.
so it's this. I can get my bag, sir. You got a bag right here, folks. Got a fresh one right here.
After Mr. Dungy, we're going to have Mr. Ferguson. Mr. Dungy, you've been charged with driving on a suspended license and having an obscured license plate. Both of those bonds are set automatically. The driving on a suspended license charge, the bond is set at $1,500. For the obscured license plate, the bond is set at $500 for a total bond of $2,000. Do you believe you could post that bond, sir?
Would there be another way for you to check if I've already posted the bill? Because I believe my mom might have gotten that taken care of today.
I'm sorry, would you say that again?
My family, they posted the bill that I was given yesterday, this morning. I just wanted to double check and see if that was in there, because usually when she tells me she does something, she does. I just wanted to double check.
Well, I don't see that I can't see that from my side. If she said she posted it, and I'm pretty certain she did, when you go back downstairs, they'll tell you if your bond has been posted. This paperwork, the stuff that I'm doing today, that's probably what they're going to be waiting on. So as soon as they get that, they'll put it into the system. If your bond has been posted, they're going to come get you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Or are you going to hire your own, or you can represent yourself?
Yeah. If you want to appoint one for me, that'd be great.
Let's see. All right, you do qualify, Mr. Dungy, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 a.m. But if your bond has already been posted, once you leave the jail, that date is going to get waived and you'll get a new date in the mail.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, you're free to go back.
Come on, sir, get your 40.
Mr. Ferguson, sir, you've been charged with 3 offenses. It looks like you were charged with the same offenses as, I think, Miss Page. Contributing to the delinquency or deprivation of a minor. The bond is set at $1,500 for that. The drug charge, I cannot set a bond for because it was showing in the system that you're on probation. So bond can be set, but it'll have to be set at a later date.
Probation.
I'm sorry?
On probation.
It was showing that you were convicted in Henry County last year.
I don't know about that.
Okay, well, that's what's showing in the system, and by law, I can't set a bond. I can appoint a lawyer for you, and if that is a mistake, you can, have you ever been on probation?
Yeah.
And have you completed probation? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Do you have the paperwork showing that you completed probation?
So I didn't get a receipt for my final payment.
Okay. Well, I can't, like I said, by law, I can't set a bond, but it was showing that you're on probation out of Henry County. So if that is a mistake, I can appoint a lawyer to represent you, and that can get cleared up. And once that get cleared up, you can get a bond. I set a bond for Miss Page because it wasn't showing that she was on probation. And there's another charge of use or possession of drug-related objects. The bond for that is going to be also set at $1,500. So do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Sure.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Ferguson. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I also set a preliminary hearing date for February 24th. That's the same date set for Ms. Page at 8:30 in the morning. And it's gonna say room 201, but it's gonna be another hearing like this. Like I told you before, the reason that I couldn't set bond on that is because it was showing that you're on probation. If that's a mistake, just have somebody get the paperwork and have it sent over. Either give it to your lawyer, which is probably the best thing, and have them show it to the district attorney's office so that you can get a bond set and get out of here. Okay?
Is there a chance I can get out of here on the 24th of February?
That's a preliminary hearing date. You probably will be able to speak to somebody way before then. My understanding from what I heard from the district attorney's office is they're trying to at least make contact 6 weeks out and try to get cases moved and resolved because of this whole virus stuff. So there's a good chance that you can get this cleared up way before then.
All right, appreciate it.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Gary, G-A-R-A-Y, or Garay? It's Gabriel Alejandro. It's maybe Garay Plata.
We got it, sir.
Okay. And after him will be Mr. Garcia.
Garcia next.
Good morning, sir. You've been charged with 4 offenses. One is littering. The bond is set automatically at $500 for that. The second charge is having a defective headlight. The bond is set at $500 for that also. The third charge is not having a child in a child seat. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that also. And then finally, you're charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond for that is set at $1,500, which brings a total bond amount to $3,000. So you believe you can post that bond, sir? I've also set a preliminary hearing date for you for February 16th at 8:30 a.m., but that date is going to automatically get waived when you bond out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You can hire your own lawyer, or you can represent yourself.
You can see if I qualify.
Okay, you do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, sir?
For that 3,000 bond, I could pay that today, right?
Yes.
That'll be it.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Step up, sir.
After Mr. Garcia's, Mr. Grimes.
Grimes?
Mr. Garcia, you're charged with theft by taking of a motor vehicle. I am not allowed to set a bond on that because it was showing that you're on probation.
So you can't.
I've set a preliminary hearing date for you for February 24th at 8:30 a.m. It's going to say courtroom 201, but it's going to be over a video camera like it is today. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. Sorry, I have to find your form. Okay, sir, you do qualify. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. After Mr. Grimes is Mr. Hutchinson. Grimes, sir, you've been charged with 3 driving offenses.
Yes, sir.
First one is having no insurance. The bond is set automatically at $1,000 for that. You've been charged with driving on an expired or invalid tag. The bond is set at $500 for that. And you were charged with driving with a license that was expired. The bond is also set automatically at $500 for that. So that brings you a total bond of $2,000. You believe you can make that bond, sir?
It's a $2,000 bond, you said?
Yes, sir.
My bond should already be posted, actually.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you can see that, but it should be posted.
No, it'll show in the sheriff's system. So if it's already been set, once this paperwork gets over there this afternoon and they enter into the system, they'll let you go. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I guess you could. I guess you could.
Put your hand down
Yes,
behind
sir. I guess you could. Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Grimes. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for February 16th. But like I said before, if you're posting, bond has been posted, that date is going to get waived and you'll get a new date in the mail. You have any questions for me?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay, you're free to go back. After Mr. Hutchinson is Mr. Jackson. Mr. Hutchinson, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of battery, family violence. I'm gonna set the bond at $5,000 for that and put a stay away condition on your bond and stay away from Tiffany Hutchinson. That condition can be removed, but it'll have to be removed at a later date. Do you believe you can post your bond, sir?
That is how much, 5?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure, to be
Okay.
honest. Just being honest, I don't really know how the bells work.
Okay.
If it's 5, I got to come up with half, right? So it'd be 5, 750.
I don't think it's quite that high, but the sheriff's department has a list of bonding companies that are approved to write bonds in this county, and you can call them and tell them your charges and your bond, and they'll tell you how much they'll charge you to post your bond. I know some bonding companies, they whatever fee they charge, they may allow you to make monthly payments on it. So you just have to call around and tell them your situation, and they'll tell you what they're willing to do. Okay? I'm gonna set a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. If you bond out, that date is gonna automatically be waived. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please. Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Hutchinson, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
I'm sorry.
Okay, you're free to go back. After Mr. Jackson is Mr. Jimenez.
Yes.
Mr. Jackson? Mr. Jackson? Can you hear me, sir? You've been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is set automatically for that at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
And they went up there 8 this morning and posted it.
I'm sorry?
They went up there 8 this morning and posted it.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer, representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Can you see if I qualify?
You do qualify, Mr. Jackson, so I'm going to set a bond in this case. I'm sorry, I'm going to appoint a lawyer, sorry. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date for February 16th. But if you've already posted that bond, that date is going to get waived and you'll get a new date in the mail. Do you have any questions for me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. After Mr. Jimenez is Mr. Jerry Jones. Mr. Jimenez, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of giving tobacco to inmates at the work detail over at the Clayton County landfill. I've set your bond at $5,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I've also set a preliminary hearing date for February 24th at 8:30 in the morning. And it's gonna say courtroom 201, but that's going to be another like Zoom call over a computer. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
My family is already helping me.
I'm sorry?
My family is already helping me with securing an attorney.
Okay. So do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, thank you so very much.
Okay, you're free to go back. After Mr. Jones is going to be Mr. Lowe. Mr. Jones, sir. You've been charged with 6 different offenses. The first one is use or possession of drug-related objects. The bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. For the other felony offenses, the bond is going to be denied at this point. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for February 24th at 8:30 a.m. in courtroom 201. I'm also giving you a bond date for February 26th at 8:30 a.m. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
Nah, no, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Come on with me, sir. Come on with me.
After Mr. Lowe, we're going to have Mr. Mangold. Mr. Lowe, you've been charged with 2 offenses, possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. And driving on a suspended license, the bond is also set automatically at $1,000 for that. $1,500 for that, for a total bond of $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? Okay. I'm going to give you a preliminary hearing date of February 16th at 8:30 in the morning, and it's going to say courtroom 201, but it's going to be another Zoom hearing. If you post your bond, that hearing date is going to automatically be waived. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? You do qualify, Mr. Lowe, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir. You said as long as I can bond out today, I can go home, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Okay, you're free to go back. After Mr. Mango, gonna have Mr. Martin. Mr. Mango, you were charged with possession of a dangerous weapon at the airport. Your bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Assistance of family and a bonding company, I believe it can.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, I would.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Mango. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for February 16th.
Yes, sir. Your Honor.
At 8:30 a.m. and it's going to be a Zoom hearing like this is now. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Only one.
Yes.
Maybe this is not an appropriate question for you, but do you know if vehicles can be used as collateral for a bonding company, or I guess they need cash?
You should ask them. I know bonding companies, they all have their own different rules, but they it's a business. So, I mean, they don't make money if they're not posting bonds.
So, can I use a Texas bonding company, or does it have to be a Georgia bonding company?
It has to be a bonding company approved by the sheriff. They have a list of approved bonding companies. I've seen sometimes before where bonding companies have worked with each other. So, I mean, if you find a bonding company that's based here, that's willing to work with the bonding company in Texas, that may work out.
Vehicles in Texas, so we'll just see. I think I can make it happen. $1,500, like $150. So.
Yes, sir. Oh, any other questions?
February 16th at what time?
8:30 in the morning. And if you bond out, that date is gonna get waived automatically.
Oh, I see. And I'll receive a letter with a new court date?
Yes, sir. And I found that you qualify for a lawyer, so you and your lawyer will get the court date.
Okay.
Okay?
That handles it. Thank you.
All right, you're free to go back. After Mr. Martin, we have Mr. Matthews.
Hey, put it back in the cell.
Mr. Martin, you've been charged with 3 offenses: possession of marijuana, less than an ounce. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. You've been charged with an open container violation. The bond is set at automatically at $500 for that. And you have a tinted window violation. The bond is automatically set at $500. So that brings a total bond of $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I'm also gonna set a preliminary hearing date for you for February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. It's gonna be a Zoom hearing just like this, like we're having right now. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Martin, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, sir? I'm sorry. Okay, you're free to go back.
Judge, who you want next, Judge?
Mr. Matthews, Sammy Lee Matthews.
Matthews.
And
Matthew. Judge, who you got next after Matthew, Judge?
after Matthews is Mr. Mobley, and after Mobley is Pendleton. Mr. Matthews, sir, you've been charged with driving on a suspended license. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that, and you've been charged with obstructing an officer. And I'm setting a bond at $2,000 for that, which brings you a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? Did you say yes?
Yes, I should.
Okay. I'm also giving you a preliminary hearing date of February 16th at 8:30 in the morning, and it'll be a Zoom hearing like we're having now. If you bond out, that hearing date is going to automatically be waived, and you'll get another date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Matthews, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. You're Mr. Mobley? Mr. Mobley, you've been charged with 6 different offenses. License not on person, the bond is automatically set at $500 for that. Driving on expired tag, or expired or invalid tag, the bond is automatically set at $500 for that. It's a defective equipment charge. Bond is automatically set at $500 for that. You're charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is set at $1,500 for that. And use or possession of drug-related objects, bond is set at $1,500. And you're also finally charged with driving with no insurance, the bond is automatically set at $1,000 for that. So you have a total bond of $5,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
You see the 5,000?
$5,500.
Yes. That's right.
Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of lawyer, Mr. Mobley? You do qualify, Mr. Mobley, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Gonna set you a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. And it's gonna be a Zoom hearing like this, but if you bond out, that hearing date is gonna automatically be waived. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Mobley?
Quick question. Because I talked to my person in the car I drove yesterday. And she has insurance that's accurate. So do I bring that to court?
First, give it to your lawyer. But yes, get that information and that charge will go away.
I mean, but I'll still be charged for financially wise, right? That might be
Right now, that is a factor in your bond, yes.
You know what I'm saying? But would it be a situation where I would be reimbursed because it was strings of car the whole time? Or just, no?
Wait, say that again, I'm sorry.
Would it be a situation where I can like plead at a court where I should never be charged with no insurance and like money back? Like, is that a situation?
Well, right now, because you've been charged with that.
I know I have to pay it right now.
Okay. But yes, if you bring that paperwork, give it to your lawyer, the charge goes away, it gets dismissed. I mean, when I say go away, I mean it gets dismissed.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. You're free to go back, sir. After Mr. Pendleton is Mr. Ramirez.
Judge, was he one of the ones that we did earlier, Judge?
No, he is, it looks like Rodriguez, maybe it's Ramirez Rodriguez?
Yes, sir.
Ever? Let me look at the calendar, how it's written on the calendar.
He did sign an attorney form, correct?
Let me see. I do not have a form for him.
Okay. I'll get him called up, Judge.
Okay. He may
he could have bonded out.
Yeah, I was gonna say he could have bonded out. It's a
yeah, Judge, he did bond out. I'm sorry, he did.
Okay.
I see it now.
Right. I will make a note of that. All right, I'm sorry, Mr. Pendleton. You've been charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. And you've been charged with a defective equipment count. And the bond is set at $500 for that, which brings a total bond of $2,000. So you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Did you say yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna set you a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 in the morning, but if you bond out, that hearing date is gonna be automatically waived. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Pendleton. So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
No, not at this time.
Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Raymond? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Raymond, you've been charged with one count of prohibited parking or improper stopping. The bond is automatically set at $500 for that. You've been charged with driving under the influence of alcohol. The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. And you've been charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. So that brings a total bond of $7,000. So you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to give you a preliminary hearing date of February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. But when you bond out, that date will be automatically waived. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Raymond, you do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I am going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, sir?
Yes, sir. As far as the DUI, I live with 4 kids and my significant other, and I'm the only one that had a license to get like kids around and stuff. So I was wondering how that would work once I bond out or whatever.
If I remember correctly, you've had prior DUI convictions, correct?
Just one about 10 years ago.
Okay. Well, you should qualify for a temporary license. So you're gonna have to apply to the Department of Driver Services for that. Okay.
All right.
Any other questions?
I appreciate it.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Hello, sir.
Are you Mr. Salazar?
No, sir.
What's your name?
Slater.
Slater, okay. Mr. Slater, you've been charged with 3 offenses, criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. I've set a bond at $2,500 for that. You've been charged with battery. I've set a bond at $3,000 for that. And you've been charged with theft by taking, and I've set a bond at $2,000 for that. I'm going to also put a stay away condition on your bond to stay away from your Neris Perkins. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? Okay, let's see. Criminal damage to property, because it's a felony charge, I'm going to set you a preliminary hearing date for February 24th at 8:30 in the morning. It's going to be a Zoom hearing, just like the one we're having now. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Or do you plan on hiring your own lawyer or representing yourself?
I can get a lawyer. Can I get the total bond?
Oh, I'm sorry. $7,500. Okay. Do you have any other questions for me?
Could I get one of those stay away against her too?
It's possible. It's because you're going to have a stay away condition placed on you. It may not happen. If you believe that that you know this person is bothering you or something like that, you can apply for a protective order or a stalking order, and there will be a hearing before a judge, and that judge will determine whether the order should issue against the other person.
Okay.
Okay, anything else? Okay, you're free to go back.
Step up, sir. Down. Down.
Tell me your name, sir.
My name is Carlos Regoso Salazar.
Okay. Mr. Salazar, you've been charged with, it's like a, hold on. You've been charged with having more than an ounce of marijuana in your possession. Set a $5,000 bond for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date of February 24th at 8:30 a.m. And that's going to be a Zoom hearing like we're having here today. Now, do you plan on hiring your own lawyer?
I do, sir.
Okay. Well, if you don't have any other questions of me, Mr. Salazar, you're free to go.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.
You too. Are you Mr. Smith? Could you come over a little bit?
Come your name, sir. Come your name. Come your name. Ronald Edward Smith.
Okay, Mr. Smith, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set a bond at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir? Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? You do qualify, Mr. Smith, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm going to also set a preliminary hearing date of February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. And it's going to be a Zoom hearing like we're having now. If you were to bond out, this hearing date is going to automatically be waived and you'll get another hearing date in the mail. Do you have any questions of me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. You're Mr. Stallion?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Stallion, you've been charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of family violence order violation, and 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond for each count at $5,000, and there's a stay away provision to stay away from Shayna Cox. You should be aware that it's possibly that you could be charged with the felony of aggravated stalking because of this family violence order that was in place. So these charges could get upgraded at some point. So your total bond is going to be $15,000. So you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So how much is 15,000 add up? Just by what?
Well, there are fees that are added by the Sheriff's Department that I don't have a control over or handle over, and they don't actually have control over. They have to set it because it's set by statute. Your total bond will be more. It'll be more than 15,000 when the fees are added. But
I know it's 15,000, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but I know, but after I go to a court, don't supposed to be like 12 or 13%.
You mean what you pay to a bonding company?
Yes, sir.
It varies. There's a list of bonding companies approved by the sheriff, and they'll give you a list of those bonding companies, and you can call them and see what they charge, and then you'll know.
Is there anywhere I can get that dropped down?
No, no, sir. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm concerned that there was a family violence order that was put in place by the former Chief Judge Wanda Dallas, and it looks like there was a bond condition of having no violent contact with Shayna Cox. And the fact that you're back here with this charge, I'm concerned, honestly, for you and for Ms. Cox, because whatever is going on, as you can see, it's not working out for you. Okay. Any other questions?
So my bond is 15,000.
Yes, sir. It's 15,000, and I'm gonna set a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30. And you bond out, that date is gonna be automatically waived. Do you want me to see if you qualify for a lawyer, or you plan on hiring your own lawyer? Or?
Yes, can give me a lawyer.
Okay. You do qualify, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me? Okay, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Stewart? I'm sorry, would you shake your head, yes or no? You Mr. Stewart?
Yes, sir.
You're coming in and out. Did you say?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Stewart, your situation is a little bit different than the other people here. You've been arrested as being charged as what's called a fugitive from justice, meaning there is a warrant for your arrest in another state, and they've apparently said that they're going to come and get you. Did you sign a waiver for extradition? Have you seen this paperwork yet?
We have a judge.
Okay. All right. I'm going to read something to you, Mr. Stewart, and then I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay.
Okay.
So this is what is called an extradition hearing, and all of the rights which I advised you earlier also apply to this case, but your appearance here is a little bit different. You do not have criminal charges pending against you here in Clayton County. You have been brought before the court today because you have charges pending against you in another state, and that state is requesting your return to answer those charges. You are being charged with being a fugitive from the state of North Carolina, where you are wanted for the offense of violation of a probation warrant. I'm sorry, sir. Let me finish and then we can talk about it, okay? You may contest extradition, or you may waive extradition and voluntarily return to the other state without going through the formal extradition process. If you decide to contest extradition, you will be committed to the Clayton County Jail for an initial period of 30 days. During this time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for your extradition to North Carolina. The court may consider allowing you to post a bond, but the court is not required to do so. I'm not allowed to set a bond for you at this time. If you do not wish to voluntarily return to North Carolina, you may file a petition for a writ of habeas corpus to contest the extradition. But these are the only 4 things that will be determined at that hearing, and that hearing will be held here. One, whether the extradition documents are in order on their face, meaning, are you the person named in this? Is there a warrant out there in the other state? Whether the person named in the request for whether you are the person named in the request for extradition, and whether you are in fact a fugitive for justice, from justice. You cannot contest the issue of your guilt or your innocence in this state. You are entitled to the advice of counsel in contesting extradition or in deciding whether to waive extradition, although there's no automatic right to appointed counsel. If the state is unable to extradite you within 30 days, you may be committed to the county jail for an additional 60 days awaiting extradition. If the extradition is not completed within 90 days, then you will be released. You may waive the extradition process and voluntarily return to North Carolina. The court cannot tell you when to expect North Carolina to come for you, as a number of factors affect that timing. So now there's some questions I have to ask you, and then we can get into the issue that I think you were beginning to bring up. So are you in fact Monte T. Stewart?
Yeah.
Do you already have an attorney representing you in this matter? Do you wish to contest extradition or waive formal extradition and voluntarily return to North Carolina to answer the charges against you?
If I return back to North Carolina, how long will it take them to come get me?
That's what I was telling you. There's like, the paperwork will get completed today and the sheriff's office will contact North Carolina to say, come and get him.
I thought they did it already. I ain't got no charges down. I ain't even supposed to be here. I ain't got no charges down here.
Okay, so you already signed the waiver of extradition?
I had no choice. I had to sign it.
No. Okay. So I'm gonna sign this on my end, and it's gonna go back over to the paper with the paperwork that you've seen me messing with while I've been here. And then they're gonna contact North Carolina, and they're gonna tell North Carolina to come and get you. Now, you were saying that you believe that the probation warrant is not valid?
I mean, I don't know if it's valid or not. I just want to know what it's for.
Okay. It says that the original charge was robbery. So it's saying that there's a probation warrant that's saying you violated probation on a robbery charge.
I violated. You don't know. I'm saying it's supposed to say it on the paper.
No, it says, it has the warrant number, and it says that the warrant is for violation of probation and the original charge is robbery. So that should clue you in right there. If you believe that you're not on probation for the robbery charge or no longer on probation for the robbery charge, then you know or should know what probation officer to contact. Or have somebody contact that person and have it cleared up.
This is what happened in Atlanta. When I got off papers, they put a warrant on me 2 days later. So when I went to see my probation officer, they took me to Rice Street in Atlanta. They took me down there. They was like, they didn't sign no warrants, you know, so they let me go. And I talked to my probation officer. He didn't tell me nothing was on me or nothing. The only thing they told me in North Carolina I had to do was pay the money. That's all they told me.
So what you should do, Mr. Stewart, is either you or family member, let me see. Hold on one second. I can appoint, looks like you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. I can appoint a lawyer to represent you, but my suggestion to you is that if you believe that that probation warrant is not valid for the robbery charge in North Carolina, you need to contact the probation office in North Carolina.
I was never on probation. I was on probation in North Carolina for like 2 days.
Okay.
And they sent me down where I can't just get banned from out there. I don't even want to go back out there. I don't even care about it. Really.
Well, I can't do any of that. All I can do is if you want to waive extradition, I can sign the waivers and you can go back up there. If you don't believe that is valid, you can either do the waiver or you can contest it. It'll be at least 30 days that you'll be here. You can try to, if you think you can get it fixed within that 30 days, you ain't got to go anywhere.
But I don't get no bond though.
No.
I want to just go back up there then. I might well see what these look.
Okay, so I'm gonna sign the waiver paperwork and then send it back over to the jail. Okay?
All right, sir, come on. Come on.
Okay, you're Mr. Warren? You've been charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license. The bond is automatically set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
I already posted.
Okay. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Or do you want to represent yourself, or do you want to hire your own lawyer?
I represent myself.
Okay. If you don't have any other questions for me, then you're free to go back.
What would I need a lawyer for?
Well, anybody charged with a crime has, and if they qualify, they have a right to the appointment of a lawyer. Anybody charged with a crime has the right to have a lawyer represent them, hire their own lawyer. Anybody charged with a crime can represent themselves. So it's up to you. If you want to represent yourself, that is perfectly fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right. You're free to go.
Let's go. Slide down into the inspector. Hand up the wall.
You're Mr. Watson?
No, Your Honor, Mr. White.
White. Yes. Okay, Mr. White, you've been charged with 2 offenses. Possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. And you've been charged also with possessing mushrooms, which is a felony. And I've set the bond at $2,000 for that, which gives you a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because it's a felony, I've set you a preliminary hearing date of February 24th at 8:30 in the morning. It's gonna be on a Zoom call just like this. Now, do you plan on hiring your own lawyer? You want me to see if you qualify for a lawyer, or do you want to represent yourself?
I'm gonna hire my own lawyer.
Okay. If you don't have any other questions for me, you're free to go back.
Thanks, sir.
Tell me your name, sir.
Williams.
Mr. Williams, you've been charged with 2 offenses: possession of marijuana less than an ounce and a red light violation.
I didn't get pulled over in a red light. I hit OnStar. That's not, my name is Henry Williams. That's not me.
Henry Williams. Ain't no red light.
Okay, I'm sorry. There is a Brandon Williams also. Okay, Mr. Williams, you've been charged with 4 offenses. Driving too fast for conditions. The bond is set at $500 for that. Driving under the influence of alcohol. The bond is set at $5,000 for that. Improper lane change. Bond is automatically set at $500. And making a false statement. And I set a bond at $1,000 for that. So that gives you a total bond of $7,000. Do you believe you can post that?
No, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. I have a question though, even though this is not trial. This is a question, if you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
How can I get charged with improper lane change? Driving too fast when I pulled my car over. I hit my OnStar button.
and the officers came to us. We were drinking, waiting for help. But I pulled up for the female that you gave the same charges to. You probably don't remember her, but you got the same charge. We was together. I don't understand how I get these charges and when no officers there. I hit OnStar. How can you tell me if I'm driving too fast when I call for help? You don't know.
Well, that's what a trial is for. And that's why, you know, it's good to get a lawyer, either have one appointed or hire your own lawyer, because those are the things that your lawyer will bring to the attention of the prosecutor. You can be charged with anything. I can be charged with anything. Doesn't mean I did it.
They basically charged me with something to lock me up. I was intoxicated, but I wasn't. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to give you a preliminary hearing date for February 16th at 8:30 in the morning. And it's going to be like a Zoom call like this. If you bond out, that date will get automatically waived. You do qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer to represent you? Okay. Do you have any other questions of me?
No, sir.
All right, you're free to go back, Mr. Williams. What's your name, sir?
Joseph Yancey.
Okay. Give me 1 second, Mr. Yancey. All right, here we go. Paperwork got stuck together.
I'm not rushing, Judge. You fine.
I'm sorry?
I said, I'm not rushing you. You're fine, Judge.
Oh, okay. Mr. Yancey, you've been charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, and 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree.
3rd degree?
Yes, that means it's a misdemeanor.
Okay.
I'm gonna set your bond at $2,500 for the battery, and I'm gonna set your bond at $2,000 for the cruelty to children. But I'm gonna put a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Adriana Sheets.
She tricked me, sir. Thank you for that generous bond, sir. That's generous as hell. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for an attorney?
No, sir. I'm gonna go get my boy.
Okay. If you don't have any other, well, I'm gonna set you a preliminary hearing date of set you a preliminary hearing date of February 16th at 8:30 in the morning, but when you bond out, that hearing date is gonna automatically be waived, okay? Do you have any questions for me?
Not one.
All right, you're free to go back.
500, correct? Total?
The total is gonna be 4,500. Yes. Okay?
Somebody see this young man.
He's still on. That's all we got. That's all we've got, Your Honor.
Okay, I need you to check on 2 people. Brandon Gerard Williams, looks like, I guess he's OTB, and Nathalia Watson.
They should be gone, Judge.
Okay. They both have schedules. They're both on scheduled bonds, so they could have bonded out.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
OTB.
All right, thank you.